Good morning. So I am officially 3 weeks post-comp, feeling pretty good. I started to make my own meal prep each week. So the idea is I want to create a little bit more diversity in my week, but I still have realized from this last 2 weeks that I really enjoy having a meal plan. I feel better mentally when I kind of know what I'm already going to eat and I don't have to think about it throughout the day. So I'll show you what I've got for this week. Meal prep is overnight Wheat Bix, peanut butter and jam flavor. I've got Mexican bowls for lunch, some Nutella snacks, oranges, and cottage cheese. So I made this overnight Wheat Bix, and it is 39 grams of protein, and I made it peanut butter and jam flavored, and it's so good. I'm feeling high. I'm feeling high. I'm feeling high. I'm feeling high. Hey, what's up everyone? So welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to make a quick video around my reverse. We are now almost 3 weeks into my reverse. I wanted to share just a little bit, I guess, of understanding the different protocols and then also what I've been doing and how I've been feeling and kind of where I'm going from here. So before I go into me, I guess I'll just explain the 3 different protocols from my understanding. I might be off here, I might not know this completely well, but just I've been trying to understand what some competitors do and why and make sense of it all. So I'll share with you my interpretation of what I think the 3 strategies are. So the first strategy that I notice is not really having a strategy. It's finishing competition and then just eating whatever you want. And I can understand why some people do this. I actually don't think any of these strategies are right or wrong. I think it just depends on the person. That strategy might be best for someone's mental health. You know, like they just want to enjoy food. They feel they've been feeling really restricted and they're not too concerned about their structure or about their body image. They know that they'll probably go into a build phase anyways. So why do anything other than just eat the food you want to eat and continue on? I can also see that some people wouldn't want to do this because maybe they want to hold on to their physique, and so they might not choose to do that. But I do understand now why people definitely don't reverse, and I totally respect that. The next strategy is, I guess, more of a recovery version of a reverse. And I think this is the most common. This is definitely what my coach has done for me. This is where you want to put on like at least 5 kilos probably from your stage weight. That's a percentage, but let's say 2 to 5 kilos because you need that healthy fat back on your body. But then once you get to a healthy body fat, you then start to just watch and make sure you're not gaining too quickly. You're doing it in a reasonable way. So the idea is you still have a healthy body fat, but you still also maintain some of the physique that you've just created. And so the last kind of option for this is doing the strict reverse. So this might be where someone is really slowly increasing their calories every week, even right after the comp. They might have had a really nice dinner a few days, but they get right back on the wagon. And the idea is that they increase their calories, really steady, and with doing that they don't put on a ton of body fat. It's a much slower process, but that would be, I guess, the easiest way to keep the physique as similar to the stage as possible, of course with healthy body fat, but it's just a slower process to boost your metabolism. So yeah, when I first started competing, the only strategy that made sense to me was the strict reverse. That's what I thought I was going to do. I just thought, God, you do all of this work, why would you want to lose the physique that you just created? But now I can kind of understand it. I think now that I put myself through the process, I didn't love myself at 56 kilos. Like I definitely think I look better at 60 kilos. So for me, that option of strict reversing didn't really make sense. I also want to have a baby, so I want my hormonal health to be as quick to return to optimal as possible. So the recovery made a lot of sense. But I also do understand just not having a protocol and enjoying food as well. I guess there's been, on the weekends, I've been pretty unhinged. I've just been doing kind of whatever and still following a meal plan or like macros throughout the week, being really chill at dinner and as well on the weekend. But there was a part of me that thought, well, if I need to gain 3 kilos anyways, why don't I just enjoy a bunch of food to do it? Like, why be strict and calculated in what I'm eating if I just need to put on the weight anyways? So, I did indulge. Like, it was my birthday yesterday. I ate 4 cookies, I had cake. Like I almost probably ate too much yesterday, but I don't feel shameful about it or guilty because I am in a really strange place where I need to put on the body fat anyways. So it's like, just enjoy it. Like, when do we ever let ourselves just enjoying these kind of foods without any shame or guilt? So it's been a really good experience for me in that way. But of course, now that I weighed in the other day at 60.2 kilos. So I'm at that point now where I am going to start being a bit more, I guess, not strict, but just moderate in what I'm having and continue to, I guess, build from here. So yeah, the last check-in that I had with Scott, he just encouraged me to get out of the 50s. He said, get into the 60s. Once you start to see your weight gain plateau, add like a couple, maybe 100 more calories, a couple hundred more calories a week, just to see yourself start to build that muscle back and that strength back in the gym. His idea was that I probably would feel my best once I hit 62 kilos. He thinks that that's kind of my maintenance. If I think about this whole journey of bodybuilding from the beginning to now, I think that's pretty incredible because at the beginning of this, my maintenance kind of weight was always around 64, 65 kilos. So going through this whole journey and then coming back to what my new maintenance will be, if it ends up being 62, 63 kilos, plus I've put on hopefully 2 kilos of muscle in over this last year, that body recomposition to me is incredible. That just shows how much less fat I have on my body and how much more muscle I've built. And that's ultimately the goal with bodybuilding. We want to continue that journey. So I'm really excited to see where my maintenance is. That is what we call a health phase. I'm going to be living in my health phase for a little while here, probably a couple months, making sure I get my period back. And as I stop breastfeeding, hopefully everything starts to regulate more. And then from here, I'll start to probably build a little bit more. I really want to build my shoulders. So I'm excited to kind of go into that next process of my build. I think if I want to speak to how I'm feeling, I think physically I'm feeling a lot better. I'm really starting to feel stronger in the gym. It's still like day-to-day basis. I hit a PB the other day in my upper body session and felt incredible doing cardio. But then yesterday I did legs and I didn't feel 100%. So it's still definitely not at 100% recovered, but I'm feeling so much stronger most days compared to the end of prep, which is so nice to feel strong again in my lifts. Mentally, I'm feeling pretty good. I think I'm someone who maybe almost weirdly can be quite objective in everything and try to look at it from like an experience point of view. I will say it is quite strange. Probably the weirdest thing mentally about this whole journey has been the fact that I didn't realize how long I would be living at a really low weight for. So it took from February, like in February, I started hitting 59 kilos, and it took from then to April to really hit my lowest weight. So for 3.5 months, I was under 60 kilos. And that kind of starts to play tricks with your mind. I almost started believing like my maintenance might be under 60 kilos because you don't realize like how hard your body's working to stay there. It becomes so normal. And then 2.5 weeks later, I'm back to 60 kilos. So that big jump, just to live in that stage for so long and then suddenly it be gone, it does kind of mess with you a bit mentally, you know? I don't think I have a bad relationship to my body, but I also just can imagine how that shock can really affect someone. It's definitely a little bit of a mind trip in that way. But again, the more time that I'm back at 60, it'll just become my new normal again. And then also with mentally, I guess I definitely can see that I'm still recovering from chronic dieting, mainly in my hunger cues. So I can eat so much food right now and I don't feel full. And that's a big signal problem, right? Like it just shows that my body's I've been I spent 6 months of my life just not listening to the signals of my body when I was hungry. And now it's like I've got to recover that. So yeah, my signaling just doesn't seem like it's matching to what it should be right now. I mean, for example, yesterday on my birthday, I had those 4 cookies. We got like a sponge cake for my birthday. Mind you, it wasn't like huge for Maya and my birthdays. Um, but still, like it's a full cake. And Chris and my mom had a piece, and Maya had a piece, and I literally ate the whole cake. Like I ate everything else. So I ate like half the cake plus 4 huge stuffed cookies. Like, and I was fine. Like I wasn't stuffed. Like there's a problem there, right? That's like a mini binge I would consider. And I'm someone who hasn't binged in so long because I used to have an eating disorder when I was younger, like 15 years ago. But for that to happen, and for me to just notice, like objectively, like, wow, I could still eat, like, I can just tell that I'm not recovered yet the way that I want to be, which is good. I think just having that experience yesterday made me realize, like, okay, still, make sure you're hitting your healthy macro counts. Like, don't low carb one day because, oh my God, that will bring on a binge for you. Like I just know all the things to watch for in myself. Don't buy Nutella yet because if I buy a jar, the whole thing will be gone. I'm sure of that. I just need to slowly get my weight back up to a healthy place so that then when I enjoy those foods, I don't overindulge. But it definitely, yeah, that's shocked me, I think, the most is just the signaling and how incorrectly wired I think I still feel. And that's a reality of competing. But yeah, beyond that, I'm feeling good. And that's just, I guess, me trying to be really honest with what's been going on because I just feel like it's so hard online. I just feel like we all want to be really inspiring, but then it also can be like a little artificial. And like I do it too. I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of this. So I'm trying to be honest with the fact that like, yeah, the binge still occurred and mentally it just does feel a little bit weird for my body to grow so quickly when I was used to being so much smaller. But outside of that, I am so much happier in my body right now. I'm a girl that likes to have a big booty, so I'm like into the way my body's looking now a lot more. I also feel like I look like stronger in my shoulders, which feels nice. And just having strength is of so much value to me. So I have some goals just to kind of keep the post-show energy alive. I have some food goals and I have some training goals. So my weekly split is pretty, I guess, packed right now because I feel like I can finally do the things I love, not just the list I have to do. So my training has varied a little bit. I'm still doing 5 build like sessions or like strength sessions a week. So I'm still doing bodybuilding 5 times a week, but I'm also wanting to work on my skill acquisition because I feel like skill work makes me really present and keeps me excited week to week. So it's kind of a new goal outside of competing. So this is like working on my handstands, trying to get my muscle up again. I've done these things in the past, but I want to be more consistent with that stuff. So just adding, 2 30-minute sessions in the week to continue working on those skills. I'm also spicing up my cardio a little bit, trying to do a spin class once a week. and just diversify a little bit of movement in that way. And of course, go to a yoga class once a week, like start to prioritize that again. So for my food goals, I just have a few things that I want to do. So something that I want to do is have a kind of rotational meal plan every week. So this means I kind of keep things kind of similar. And I fall into a trap of wanting to be really consistent, but I want to diversify each week. So it might be slight different variation of ingredients or fruits or protein, but kind of try to spice it up each week to keep it exciting. I always have like one free takeout meal a week when I'm not in prep. So I want to keep that, but I also want to include one kind of free sweet treat a week. And so that might be more spontaneous at a cafe with a friend, whatever. But once a week, just have something sweet. Don't feel that I need to make up for it. I don't need to track it. I don't need to not eat some lunch to make up for it. Like, just add that in and be okay with it. And then lastly, I really want to include one new recipe a week. And this is something that I really want to involve Maya with. I want her to be cooking with me, to be learning and creating in the kitchen with me, just as a bonding time, especially after prep, because obviously everything was super strict for me and she wasn't eating with me. That I would love for us to kind of bond that way, doing some cooking and as well just improve or increase our own recipe collection at home. So yeah, those are the goals that I have moving forward. Again, it's kind of taking it a little bit away from the bodybuilding focus, but of course, like still doing all of that bodybuilding stuff, still getting my steps, still strength training, still eating clean, hitting the macros, but just in a little bit more of an exciting way and a different approach to have a bit more food freedom and family time. Anyways, that's it for me this week. I hope that helped clear up any questions you might have had about the reverse. I've had people ask me to film this to keep them up to date. But if there's any other questions you have, please reach out. I'm super open and always happy to share my experience.